2025 is literally around the corner, and I have started so many series lately that I really need to prioritize the ones that I want to focus on for the remainder of the year. Since I've been doing a deep dive in romantasy lately, I have been starting a lot of new series, and I really need to narrow down the ones I want to focus on and possibly some new ones that I want to sprinkle in, plus a couple of non-romantic fantasies that I want to complete by the end of the year. So without further to say, let's get started. The first book that I want to pick up and finish by the end of the year is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I've had this book on my shelves, on my TBR for, I don't know, like years. But I'm not a contemporary romance person. I tend to like to watch those things over reading. But honestly, everybody, even people who don't even like contemporary romance, have raved about this book and said that it's probably one of the best books they've read. They love it so much, etc. Because of the holiday season and all of the Hallmark movies, we all know what I'm talking about, are coming out, I feel like right now reading a rom-com is probably the best time, because for some reason rom-com just screams holiday season. So I really want to read this probably in December, closer to Christmas, to really get a taste of Emily Henry, because I have been wanting to check out their work for the longest time. And honestly, looking at their backlist, there are so many books that I have my eye on. So I'm really hoping that I do love this book and I will love the rest of their work. The next two series are two romantasy series that originally started on KU, and I believe both of them have been picked up and now are being traditionally published. But they are still on KU, so thankfully I can read them there. The first series is Gods and Monsters by Amber V. Nicole, the first book being the Book of Azrael. I've heard a lot of people talk about this. I've heard very polarizing things. Either people love it or hate it. But from the little bit that I have heard, I think that it's probably up my alley, because it is kind of like a mixture between like dark romantasy with urban fantasy. And I love both of those. And I believe it is enemies to lovers, which, like, sign me up. I'm like an enemies to lovers girly. So all of those things make this series really stand out to me, and I've been wanting to check it out for the longest time, and I think that I'm probably going to be picking it up very soon. The next series I knew about for quite some time, but it was recently brought to my attention again by Maria from Books and Mo, and she raved about this series, and that is the Plated Prisoner series by Raven Kennedy, and the first being Gild. Like Book of Azrael, I've heard a lot of mixed things about this first book and the series, but I have heard, like a lot of romantasy series, that the first book is probably the weakest, and if you read past that, it gets better. Between Gods and Monsters and the Plated Prisoners series, I really wanted to pick up either one or the other. I don't think I have time to pick up both. I may like do a sample chapter, like sample each chapter and see which one I vibe more, and whatever one doesn't win, I'll read in 2025. The next book is a big maybe, and that is One Dark Window by Rachel Gild. The reason why I say maybe is because I'm going to be reading this physically. I have put a hold on the audiobook through my library, but the wait was like literally like 20 weeks or something like that. So I will be probably reading this physically, and given how much time I have left in the year, this may be a January read. And it still fits with like the cold season from what I know. Like most of the unread books that I've talked about, I don't know much about the plot, besides the fact that it is a dark romantasy, and I believe it's like tarot card based magic. So all of those things right up my alley. So although I really do want to read this, time is not my friend. So this is going to be a big maybe. This next part of the video is where I'm going to be talking about series that I want to continue on within the next few weeks. And the first one being Everflame by Rebecca Yarros. If you watch my first TBR Purge vlog, I talk about when I read Fourth Wing and how much I was so pleasantly surprised by that book and how I'm like addicted to this series. So I have been meaning to pick up Everflame for a few weeks now, and I'm probably going to be picking it up within a week or so. So I want to continue on with this so that I can read Onyx Storm with everybody else in January. So this is number one priority. Number two priority is The Sunlit Man by Brandon Sanderson. This is a part of the Cosmere. This was his secret project number 4, I believe. So Brandon Sanderson himself said that you do need to read this if you want to continue on with Wind and Truth, which is Stormlight number 5, which I will also be reading. I don't know if I'm going to finish it because it comes out mid-December, so it is quite a big book, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish it within 2 weeks, but at least at the beginning of the year for sure. And I also need to read Dawn Shard as well. This is a novella also in the Stormlight, and I've been wanting to read this novella for quite some time. And I've been told that if I'm a nautical fan, that I'm definitely going to love it, and I am, so I think I'm going to love this novella. So I got to read these two before Wind and Truth comes out. The next 4 series that I really want to get to by the end of the year, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get to all of them, but I really do like all of these series. The first one being Foxglove by Adeline Grace. The first one was Belladonna, which I just recently read and absolutely loved. I've been thinking about Belladonna since I finished it a few days ago, like literally all the time. So I really do want to read Foxglove. So Foxglove is probably one of my higher priorities. Another book that I really want to get to is the second book in the Kindred Curse series by Penn Cole, that being The Glow of the Everflame. I read Spark of the Everflame recently and really did enjoy it, but I have heard that the first book does not really represent the entire series, and if I want to get to know the series, then I have to continue on. Although it is traditionally published, I believe it's still on KU because the second one that's coming out traditionally published is not coming out until December, and I want to get to it maybe before then. So if I don't get it physically, I want to read it through KU. The next series that I really want to prioritize by the end of the year is the third book in the Hollows by Kim Harrison, and that is Every Which Way But Dead. I recently read the first 2 in the series and absolutely loved it. So it is depending on my friends in Discord if they want to buddy read it and when we can get like our schedules aligned. But yes, I do want to listen to that third book by the end of the year. I absolutely love it. It's a great urban fantasy series and I highly recommend it. Those are the books that I would like to prioritize by the end of the year. Comment down below, let me know if you have any priority series or books that you'd like to get to. And if you don't have anything to say but you want to leave a comment, maybe leave a Christmas tree or something festive for the festive season coming up. As always, you can find my socials down below. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you have an awesome day. Bye!